Hey guys, thank you for checking out Bucked Up. Just before we start, I would love if you'd hit the subscribe button, like, share the video. We have new episodes coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And starting in the new year, check out Wrapped Up exclusively on Vivo. This episode is sponsored by Exotic Roots Hydro, which I have to give a huge shout out to. They are a huge supporter of the podcast, and I'm really happy to be working with them. If you're ever in Rochester, New York, and you need to learn about any of your hydroponic needs, go to their shop. You can follow them at Exotic Roots Hydro on Instagram. Shout out their whole team. They have an amazing venue space. They're going to be putting on tons of events. Just make sure to follow Exotic Roots Hydro on Instagram. And if you're ever in Rochester, definitely stop by. Let's get back into it.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
Was this the first event that you were throwing for that new shit?
Yeah, as far as us CNT goes, that's Unique and Snow Entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the first event.
This is dope. We're going right over to the plug for the meet and greet with Khan afterwards. And then we got the show tonight.
Yeah,
we
show
wanted to
tonight
set
at
up and do the
Reverb.
podcast. Yeah.
gonna be
Shout out
super dope,
Reverb.
yeah.
That's our first time here. You're like an hour and a half, you said?
Yeah,
Baltimore?
Yeah, hour and a half, something like that. Yeah.
It was funny. I knew we were talking about. I was listening to your project on the way in
Horace.
today. Yeah, Horace. I love that. I wanted to ask you why you named it that.
Well, first, the simple part of it is he was a Egyptian king.
Yeah.
You know, he was an Egyptian god. So that's how I look at myself first and foremost, like a black king, a black god. Then it's the whole story behind who he was and what he stood for. You know, he looked out for his peoples. You know what I'm saying? He went to war for his peoples. He sacrificed for his peoples. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So when you get into the story of Horus and what it stands for, then you know that too. But the main reason is, he was just a black king, a black god, and that's how I look at myself.
Well, that was I love the cover and I love the artwork, but I wanted to ask you about that because it was powerful for them, the project, and that's like your.
Yeah, a lot of people said they like the image.
Yeah, that's your first project on major streaming, but you've had other shit.
Yeah, with Drumwork. Yep.
Yeah, congrats on that, on the Drumwork
Appreciate
shit,
it, man.
for
I
real,
appreciate
putting
it.
on Baltimore.
Salute.
Like I said,
Big drum,
my
big
whole,
drum.
yeah, that's crazy. Like
Yeah, appreciate it, yeah.
putting on for as I said, my whole mom's side of the family's from Baltimore, so I'm happy that he's putting on
that's
an
the
artist
hometown.
from
Hometown.
How did you guys link up?
We all met back in Atlanta back in what, like 08, 09.
Yeah, 08, 09.
Oh, shit, long time ago.
Something like 14 years ago.
Damn.
Me, SK, and Conway, we actually lived together.
Really?
Yeah,
In the studio.
in the studio.
Down in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
That's
It was a big
cra-
ass studio that had like 4 or 5 rooms, and a guy who was running the studio, Nick Fury.
Shout
a
out-
lot of people
shout out
might-
Fury.
Yeah, shout out to Fury. You'll be familiar with him from the Game Over beat, Lil Flip. That was like his
Okay,
biggest
yeah.
joint.
All right.
He did a bunch of shit for Rick Ross, T.I., a whole bunch of other names. But it was his studio he was running, and we was in a down position, and he had the extra rooms and shit in the studio.
How'd y'all end up in Atlanta?
Stayed there. We all moved there for music, I believe.
Yeah, we all had like different paths that kind of led to Atlanta, and then that's when our paths kind of intertwined.
Did you guys know each other before that, or did
No.
you guys all meet at the
None
same
of us knew each other
time?
prior to that.
Damn.
Yeah, we met in
None of
Atlanta. We met
living
in Atlanta.
living in the studio.
Living in the studio.
That's
We all used to record each other.
In 08.
Conway used to record me. I used to record him. He used to record both of us. He was producing beats for us even back then.
damn. Different style, same style. What was
More
Nah, back
so,
then-
I say more trappy.
Yeah, more
like the
trappy,
Atlanta,
more, yeah.
08
Sure,
Atlanta.
Exactly,
sure.
08
That
Atlanta.
was the heart when it was just popping.
Yeah.
Trap,
Did
southern
you
shit.
realize what was happening at that time, or was that just
Yeah, that's
you
why
were down
I
and
did.
trying?
That's why I actually moved to Atlanta, because I seen Atlanta was becoming a music hotspot. So,
But
that's
I mean,
why went
working
down
now
there
with
for music.
Drumwork, like seeing that, did you realize in 08, or was that just damn, we're all living in the studio,
I
we're working?
always recognized his skill. I knew he was crazy when it came to rapping, but you know, beyond, I ain't even think, you know, what's going on with me, it be going on with me type shit. So I
Yeah,
definitely
no, that's the
think,
whole thing. I mean,
know,
like
it
you
ain't
guys
you don't believe in a
reconnect
nigga. You know a nigga
yeah.
talented, but you know you can be the most talented basketball player. You never make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
So it's like
One thing I feel like we all knew is that no matter what, we're gonna make it. You know what I mean? We just ain't know how. We didn't know who would. You know what I mean? Like,
What do you think that is? You think you're born with it? Do you think that's something you learn? Like,
definitely
it's-
going with it.
I think it's something you learn.
Yeah, like, you know.
that's
I'll be
funny.
on-
You
I'm
said
on out and-
you said you learn. You said you're born with
I
it.
say learn because I don't know. I just feel like
I agree with both of you because some people are like somewhere in my mind I'm like, damn, I was born with something that gives me the drive, but then I know
when
that
you
there were
think about
times
free
that-
will and shit,
yeah,
like,
but
it's
then I
on
realized
you.
I was lost. You can get lost on
Yeah.
your path, and like you see a lot of people that get lost.
Yeah.
You know, like you guys could have met in 08 and worked, and then you guys could have got lost and never worked together again.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like it shows like that. That's what I mean. Like that ended you all back. Like we're all here together in PA. You know, Drumwork. Like your Drumwork. You know, you fucking you're doing it all. Like you're throwing the events. It's crazy.
yeah, definitely dope. Whole experience, everything.
Yeah. But you didn't back then. What did you think like the plan was? You were gonna be like in Atlanta, like.
I thought we was gonna make it out of Atlanta. Back
You think
then.
you guys were gonna be a duo, like working together, like?
Yeah, we are actually. You know, he produced. You know, we got projects coming, fully produced by him.
Yeah.
So you know, he's my manager. You know,
management.
he's pretty everything he do.
It's my brother, man.
Everything he do.
Yeah.
Maybe for anything, we
So
brothers.
yeah, hell yeah.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, that
What
part.
happened after that? How?
I end up doing some time. I did some time and I kind of lost everything I had going on in Atlanta. So after I came home, I did like 13, 14 months.
Salute.
And after I came home, I kind of went back to Baltimore because everything was changed by the time I came back home. So I just was like, I'm going back home with family. And,
You mean everything like in your life was
yeah, like,
changed, or
yeah,
everything
car,
musically?
place where I
Yeah.
was living at.
Yeah.
Nothing was there. A lot of people went back home, and you know, I ain't have a car, a place to stay like that. I had to stay with somebody,
Yeah.
type shit, find somewhere to stay. So I was just like, I'm going back home with my, you know, type shit. But
And what were you doing?
Right after the studio.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from right here, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh
That's
shit!
I'm bringing my first show. I'm bringing Conway and I'm bringing SK.
I
and
feel
D.
like
Jones
a fucking.
to the city where I
Your
was born
family's
at.
here.
My
People can
family's
hear your
here.
family in the
whole
background.
city
Like
knows me. You know what I mean? Like, so this is
So-
like huge. You know what I mean? This is
Congratulations,
super huge
man,
for myself.
for
'cause,
real.
Yeah, this is where I'm from. So,
I didn't even
you know what I
realize
mean? Yes,
that.
this is
Yeah.
like a monument. And again, man, shout out Ussie and T. Shout out Snow. Like, you know what I mean? Without my business partner, this wouldn't
Shout
even
out
be
to
able
Snow.
to, you know, happen. And like, and the crazy thing is, he's not even from here. You know, he's from Pennsylvania, but he's not from Reading. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm from here. So yeah, it's, you know what I mean? It's
So did you come back here? Or did you stay in Atlanta?
I stay in Atlanta, but I like since the tour, I've been around more than ever.
Yeah.
You know,
And when did you guys link back up?
we never.
yeah, I would say the biggest gap might have been from like 2011 to like 2014,
Yeah, maybe
2015.
2, 3
Because I was in Baltimore, I wasn't really coming to Atlanta so tough. But like around 2014, 2015, I started traveling to Atlanta multiple times a year.
Yeah.
And we started linking up north for different events and shit like that.
Were you making
we had a
music
little
still?
gap about 3-4 years. But besides that,
No, but we
shit,
were still in contact as
We
far
were still in
as
contact.
we still in
Yeah.
contact.
Were you
but
making music
physically-
at all?
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah,
was
that
doing
never stopped.
shows, everything in New York. I ain't never stopped since I started. I've been doing shows everywhere. You know, I didn't pay hundreds of dollars to open up for Jewels, Mano, Fred the Godson.
Yeah.
Fucking who else
Rest
I
in
done paid
peace.
for? I didn't pay to open up for a lot of artists, and you know what I'm saying. So I've been doing shows in New York, New Jersey. Once I came back from Atlanta, I was still traveling, doing shows in the A. I opened up for Young Dro. Paid to open up, do that.
Yeah.
I paid to open up for a bunch of different artists, so that's kind of what I was doing.
Can I just say I have real respect for you saying that right
Yeah, I
there, because
appreciate it.
people come up on here and say like, "Oh, I've opened for these people," and like,
Yeah,
It is opening, but you said you pay for them because I don't think artists
Yeah, it make a
realize
difference
that's what
when
you
pay,
gotta.
when you
gotta-
pay
Artists gotta do
$500,
that. Yeah,
that make all the difference.
but people don't realize that, and then
shit.
artists lie about doing it, and then people are like, "Oh, I
Shit, I
can't do
paid
that."
for shows where
Realize-
it wasn't no major artists. I just wanted to perform at a,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, get my music heard.
Well, that's what you gotta do. I make just enough on this podcast that I can come to Pennsylvania, get a hotel room, do the podcast. Then I'm off to the next town to do comedy and podcasting. All the money's going back into it, but you have to invest in yourself. That's some
Exactly.
real shit that people don't tell you. The money you make, what they say, a business doesn't make money the first 3 years. You have to think of yourself as a business. You're not gonna make.
Then with rap, it might be 10 years.
Yeah.
When you hit, you going, you hit big.
Yeah. So then what made you release Horace now, on major, what made that push,
Shit, when bro hit me back in April and he told me he was going to have me on a tour opening up, I was like, I got to put a project together. So I actually put that shit together in out of nowhere type shit because I knew I needed to have something to take on tour with me, a project for people to.
That project was so crazy how it came about, and if you ask me, listening to it from the outside, there's no way you could tell me that this was just put together real quick. You know what I mean?
I know, that's surprising to hear. Yeah.
Sitting back and listening to it, it's nah, there's no way. You know what I mean? Nah, this had to take at least 6 months, to put together, or few months or something. Nah, man, bro. I mean, bro had a little body of work. Bro was like, look, I'm gonna snatch this, I'm gonna snatch that, I'm gonna add this, and he put it right together. You know what I mean? In real time,
That was it. I just put it out. I had some hard copies I was selling on tour. And then I put it up online right when the tour started in Miami on August 28th or some shit like that.
Why didn't you put anything up before that on the major streaming and shit?
I had little singles. I didn't put a whole project up on there. It really was probably my life at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I was
do.
working a job type shit. Had my son, so I was still doing music, but I wasn't all the way in it. It'd be
Taking yourself
little
as,
moments
professionally.
where you might take a couple months off, and but you get back to it. You might be down a little bit, and I was more so it was a period where I was really focused on my priorities, my rent, my house, car type shit, and I was until I get my money right, I'm gonna fall back for music. You feel what I'm saying?
And then when you came back, when he hit you to go on tour?
No, I was still I ain't never stopped going to the studio, but that just made me just turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he hit me about that, because since 2017, that's kind of more so when I really started getting all the way back in tour, because I started traveling with them, doing shows with them. So I've been putting out singles. I just didn't put out a whole project on them.
Yeah.
I just putting out songs and videos. And
Was
shit
that weird having to put your first project out last
It's not
minute?
my first project.
The
I
first
got,
project on
major platform.
Major platform.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't nervous or nothing. I wasn't nervous or nothing like that, cause the projects I put on Spin Rilla and my mixtapes and shit, I got good feedback and decent amount of views and likes, and people was commenting, saying they like the project and things like that. But so it wasn't no difference.
Do you feel like there's a difference now? Do you feel like you have a different drive behind y'all's back now than you did before?
100%. Because everything changed, man. When you bro backing us and Drumwork and everything like that, so that just put more eyes on us. People pay attention more when they see what's going on.
Yeah.
So
and that's crazy that you knew each other so long ago, living in the studio. That's wild. No idea.
08, 09. Yep.
And you said you guys got projects coming out together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a minute. He send me beats and I get beats from him and I just work on them.
Why haven't you released anything since Horace?
Since Horace?
Yeah.
Because I'm putting together this next joint I'm dropping on Drumwork.
When's it gonna drop?
It's gonna be several months right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be months. It ain't gonna be no time soon.
All right.
It's gonna be definitely months down the road.
It's on the way though.
Yeah, Skis and Love, they dropping first. And
Yeah, because you have to work with it. Yeah.
So it's like it's like an order tour type shit. But
You have a name?
Made for this.
Made for this.
Yeah, yep. That's definitely the name.
That's awesome.
Made for
and you're
this, that's
producing
definitely
on
the name.
this?
100%. Yeah, you're gonna have most of the placements on there for sure.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by producer out of Syracuse, New York, Twist L's. He makes dope lo-fi beats. He has a bunch of tapes on Bandcamp that you should all check out. But if you want to work or get amazing lo-fi beats, hit him up at lo-fi.lucifer on Instagram. That's LOFI.LUCIFER. Check him out. He's an amazing dude. Thankfully sponsors the podcast. Let's get back into it. I think I'm a comedian. Like, I don't know, like, I come in as a fan, you know what I mean? So something I learned through this is, like, artists finding their producers is, like, so important. You know, before I thought, like, oh, you just work with, like, whoever you want. But, like, nah, it's real important, especially, like, you guys having a team, like, you being his manager and being able to, like, you guys all met together. That's real important because you need people to back you. Like,
you need genuine people, like people that have the best intentions.
People who you know for years, who you got a relationship with.
Yeah.
Shit like that. You know, it's different. You carry it different when it's somebody who you got real love for versus a nigga you just met and he trying to use you, or, you know, this and that.
100%.
You carry it completely different.
Yeah, and you can tell, you know.
Look,
It's the funny. I don't know if you feel this, but I probably the day you announced shit with Drumwork, I bet a bunch of people hit you up like,
features,
yeah,
beats,
like and people
features,
but, like,
beats, everything.
I announced
Everything.
like anything big happening, like people automatically just try to like dick ride on it, not to be like
100%.
That part of it actually started before the Drumwork tour. It was What Would Sheen Gun Do tour. So SK did a couple shows on that tour, and really, in my eyes, that's when like people really start, you know, paying attention.
Yeah.
So from that, trickling to, you know, this tour, you know what I mean? It was just like, all right, like, you know, all the momentum was there, and like, boom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's just people, you know, we growing slowly but surely, but people definitely paying more attention now for sure.
and it's good because it's good. Like you said, you haven't stopped since you started. Like that's a long grind.
It's my love for you know, I love to make millions off of rap, but like it's just I like making music. I love making music, so
Yeah, you have
that's
to,
more so
yeah.
what kept me going, because I've been rapping since I was like 10, 11, but like actively putting money and real time into it, I would say like 17, 18. Like when I moved to Atlanta, you feel what I'm saying? That's when I really start investing in doing shows and CDs and flyers, selling CDs and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but the reason why I kept going, even though all this time I ain't really get a shot until now with bro, is just my love for the music.
Yeah.
It ain't, you know what I'm saying? So
That's what keeps you. You can tell people who start just for money or whatever, and they fall off quick because they like even
ain't
if they
no passion behind it. Once they don't get no bag, they like, man, fuck this shit.
or even if they get a little bit of success, they can't keep that going. Like you have to, like, you know, it's what Nipsey said, the marathon. Like you gotta, it's the long game. Like what are you gonna be doing, and is this gonna help you in 10 years? Is this gonna help you in 20 years? Is this gonna help your family? Like the investment and shit.
Yeah.
Honestly. So then when did he ask you guys to be Drumwork? Like when did that happen?
Well, he first told me when he was starting the whole thing. This was like end of what's this? This 2022. This had to be like the end of 2020. The end of 2020 sometime.
Okay. During quarantine and everything. Yeah.
And he told me about it.
before quarantine.
So it's
it was
2019.
it was
oh
months
shit.
before the
Definitely, yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
like a year before, right?
I would say a couple months before
A
quarantine.
couple months?
Yeah.
6 months or so, but
Damn.
Yeah, when he started the drum work, and you know, he let me know about it, and you know, we just talked this and that, and
Yeah.
then once he started to actively bring it about, create the page, and he got love and skis and shots and everybody else,
Yeah.
and that's when, you know, we start talking about it more and situating everything.
I love that y'all are all so different from each other. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool that he picked artists that are
everybody got a different
like,
sound.
Exactly. I really fucked with that.
Yep. That's one thing I definitely said. You know, skis, love. Everybody got a different sound. You know,
Yeah.
it's all different kind of music. You know, Shots got like the drill trap sound.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, you know, Goose, he got like that laid back ride, smoke, cool,
Is he
hustler
coming?
music. I'm not sure. I talked to Goose maybe about a week or so ago.
All right.
We was texting, but I'm not sure if he coming today. No.
Love Goose. He sat in on the
Nah, that's the
Conway
homie. Shout out
episode.
Goose.
Yeah. And I did
my
one with
boy
him in
Goose.
2. Shout out 2 official. I
yeah,
thought
shout
he was
out to
gonna.
Official,
I thought he was
man.
gonna be on here. I
Come
know.
on, bro,
He's
supposed to be
supposed to
pulling
be
up.
on this podcast
He's
with
supposed
us
to be here
right
with us
now.
right now.
So what made you start doing the events and everything?
Honestly, this tour, being on this tour, and just seeing, just like learning, being a sponge, like
Yeah.
I like to be a sponge. I like to learn. So I'm just sitting there and I'm learning like how the show goes on, like from the first show. So by the time it was the 5th show, I knew the whole routine. You know what I mean? Like I could literally tell you how, how it works, how it runs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Merch, this, that, you know what I mean? So, basically I just seen one of the shows. I was just there on stage and I'm looking off stage and I'm like, this could be in Reading, you know what I mean? Like we could, this same thing that we've been doing for 2 months, we could do this in Reading, PA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when, I brought it to my business partner, like,
Snow.
this is what I want to do. Yeah, Snow, Sam Snow. Shout out my bro again. But I brought it to him like, I want to do this, you know what I mean? And he's like, what you mean? Like, let's do it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I had somebody there to meet me halfway and, that's passionate and, that, takes it as serious as I do.
That's dope.
And here we are today. Like, this is months later and it's actually happened. Today's actually the day.
The hospitality coming in. Like, I appreciate you for real. Like, thank you, man.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
And I'm happy we got to do this. I'm happy we got to work it. We're about to go over to the plug right now
about to
for
do
the
the
meet
plug,
and greet.
yeah.
I'm happy we got to do this. Thank you guys for coming on. There will be a part 2 that we'll just go right into after this. But thank you guys for coming on and doing this. I really appreciate your time.
Shout
I know
out
this
the
is.
podcast. You know what it is. Drumwork CFBMG.
You guys want to plug anything before we go? Well, I guess there'll be a part 2, but you guys want to plug anything before?
Yeah, SK the King 1 Instagram. Horror streaming everywhere. SK the King. You can look me up. We got new videos on YouTube. Make sure you follow the Checker Flag Boys Instagram. We got videos and singles out on all streaming platforms. Drumwork music. Make sure you support that. Everything Griselda. Baltimore City, you know what's up. Yeah.
Right to the point, man. Shout out UCNT. Shout out Reverb. Shout out the whole city of Reading, Pennsylvania. Shout out the Bottega bottles. You know what I mean? City of Reading, Pennsylvania, man.
Yeah,
Shout them
shout out
man.
Reading.
Tonight is big, man. Like, shout y'all out, man. I appreciate
We
the love.
outside.
You guys
We're
have anything
definitely
you want to say?
outside.
My boys.
Either
I
of
got
you?
my boys from the city with me.
Everything I want to
Max.
say, man.
Gang
My
in
boy,
here.
that's my
It's
boy,
black
my boy
excellence,
P, man.
That's all I
Baltimore
gotta say.
shit.
Just beautiful thing, just black excellence. You know what I mean? You got these young fellas, cause you think they a little old for real, but we ain't gonna say that. But we got these young fellas right here, man. They really doing that thing out here, and they really chasing the dream, and that's what
Right.
it's about. A lot of people don't even have a dream to chase. You know what I mean? So you gotta chase your dream. Anything, whatever it is, just chase it.
Word.
And that's all I gotta say.
And I appreciate you guys having me in, welcoming me, and letting me do this for real. Like, I appreciate it a lot.
Word, man. We
locked in,
appreciate you,
bro.
man.
Yeah, man.
Of course. You have anything? You have any
My
final
boy.
words?
My boy Binky said he don't want to say nothing, man. Make sure you follow him, man. Slick Binky, man. You know what's up, Baltimore shit.
Peace out.
Part 2 coming.
Part 2
Sir.
coming.
Peace.